Hi everybody, welcome to the Yarn Club. Today we're going to talk about summer knitting with Quince and Company. This is their linen Nor collection, one of my favorites. I'm wearing Gilead in Sparrow. Sparrow's wonderful, we're going to talk about that. And this one is in Kestrel, which is a heavier weight but oh so wonderful to work with. Here are some samples of their new colors. This is in Sparrow. They've gone with a marled look, and they're amazing to work with. They give nice depth in knitting. And I do recommend the Collage Square Needles by Louette. They have a nice sharp point, and this little bit of flat surface really helps to grab that linen and just let it glide off your needles. It's delicious. So let's talk about Sparrow. Sparrow is so light and lovely and drapey and wonderful. When you're wearing it, you feel a little naked. This is one of my favorites. This is Cullum. It's a lovely lace at the top. It's knit from the top down. You start in segments, little bit of short rows. The German ones are my favorite. You connect the top, connect the back, knit down, and then it's knit, joined, and knit in the round. And it's absolutely exquisite with nice detail at the bottom, figure flattering. And this is done in Kestrel. Kestrel is in worsted to Aran weight. It's a braided construction, and there's a cool little technique we'll flip to later about how to join that so you don't get a big lump knot when you're connecting your skeins. This is Kestrel. Kestrel is just so summery, wonderful. It's perfect for those New England summers, for our cooler spring nights here in Virginia. And let's talk about something really interesting here with this yarn. I'm going to open it up. It's a tape. And you're thinking, how am I going to join my skeins without making a big knotted, hunky, sloppy mess? We don't want that. So what you do, and I'll show you on the little knot here, is you will actually take the last few inches of your yarn and pull. It unravels. Put this into a regular everyday sewing needle, and you're going to sew your one end to your other end and stitch it up with your sewing needle, and it makes a completely invisible join. You'll never know where one starts, and if you have to rip, just ball it right up and keep going. The other fun I like about Sparrow, we're going to come back here for a second. This is Forsythia. Very, very light. One of my favorite tops. It uses 3 or 4 skeins of the main color, 2 skeins of the contrast, and your gauge swatches, your pockets. Let's talk about Quince's line, because we do stock almost the full line of Quince. We have the cotton Willet. Wonderful yarn. New colors coming out soon. We will have them as soon as they're out. Same with Kestrel. Kestrel we discussed. This is Piper. Piper is a delicious mohair wool blend. Absolutely scrumptious. We have their wool collection, which is U.S. sourced wool. We love it. Made in the USA from sheep to shelf. And we have Fingering, Finch, Chickadee DK or Sport. It does both. It actually works anywhere from a 4 to a 7 very nicely. It's on my needles now for a project. We'll talk about that another day. Then we have Lark and Osprey. Ospreys, they're chunky, which is wonderful, anywhere from a 9 to an 11. And this is Deshane. This wonderful sweater knit in Kestrel can also be knit in Osprey, their chunky weight yarn. Make it a little longer. It's knit from the top down, and it's perfect for all fall, winter needs. For Sparrow, we have all their colors. Anything in stock I'm going to have. I'm happy to order if anybody needs something. Now, Quince I can't put on my website. That's part of my partnership with them, but call the store and we're happy to ship, or come on in and we'll be tickled to show you all their colors. We also have Tern. Tern is a silk blend, and this is a new color, Wisteria. This was one of their exclusives. Lovely. And this is a wonderful story. I can't get everything in here on my needles as much as I want to try. So one day I'm reshelving and I'm stacking and I'm making it all nice and pretty, and I start saying, why isn't this on my needles? Why isn't this on my needles? This has to be on my needles. That day I cast on Ramble by Andrea. It's a brioche wrap, and this is Phoebe, and this is Ramble, and it is one of my favorites. Easily drapes, so soft and yummy. Even in the summer you'll see me in this one. It is just delicious. Little bit of brioche, absolutely fun and exciting. We're going to talk a lot about brioche coming up here in the next couple months, and easy stripes. I'm going to tell you about my favorite sweater in Sparrow Forsythia. This is the greatest summer top ever designed by Pam Allen in Sparrow. It calls for Sparrow. We use Sparrow. Light, fluffy. You feel a little naked. It is so fun. The wonderful thing about this pattern, it's supposed to be a little shorter, but easy to make longer. You start with the pockets. For those of us who don't like gauge swatch, guess what mine are? They're my pockets. That's my little gauge swatch on a 3. And then you're knitting. And I cast on 2 more stitches, and I was able to do an extra decrease on each side, giving it another 1.5 inches in length, which brought it down to hide the seams. Very important. It's a wonderful top using 3 or 4 skeins of your main color and 2 for all sizes of your contrast color. The brighter the better, folks. It's summer, live it up. Put a little chartreuse in your life. Every summer I have to knit something out of Sparrow. And this is kind of from last year. We won't fib. We all have our UFOs. This is Equinox. Wonderful pattern. It's a checkerboard. This is the front. This is one of the back panels. And the other back panel is out of hibernation, back on the needles. And I really want to finish this in the next week or so. And you may have noticed this ingenious invention on the end of my needles. This is a needle keeper. They have a grommet on one end, open on the other. And anything from a size 9 down, you can put both needles in and they don't fall off. So when you go to pick up your knitting, how many of us had it all unravel in our bag and we say really bad words? Well, not with the needle keepers. They're on there, folks. That's not coming off in your knitting bag. And it's not going to poke you in the behind when you're walking down the street either. Wonderful invention. They run $8.95, and we're happy to mail them to you or come on in and grab a bunch. I have one on every open project. That gives me about 12.